My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to This Song Is Yours, a music podcast where we chat to a new guest each week, talk about their life and creative endeavours, and talk to them about some of the music they love. Our show works by chatting to our guests about music, their songwriting techniques, and occasionally getting them to make you a playlist of the songs they love. Welcome to episode 219. I'm your host, Simon Fink. Our guest today is Dacy. The multi-instrumentalist sibling duo from Melbourne released their debut single last week, which is titled She Wants to Be Loved. In today's episode, we're speaking with Jack and Ruby Dacy about the role Ed Sheeran played in the inception of the band, their musical upbringing, and what 2023 holds in store for them. Here we go. Our guests today are a singer-songwriter sibling duo from Melbourne, Australia. Having played music all throughout their teenage years, they've built up their musical chops by playing in pubs and clubs across Victoria, and earlier this year toured across the country with Pete Murray. Last week, they released their debut single, She Wants to Be Loved. Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, Jack and Ruby Dacy from Dacy. Hello.
Hi, Simon. How you doing, man?
Very well, thank you. How are both of you?
We're great, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us on the podcast, man. We'll listen to a lot of episodes, and I think we were just listening to Dermot Kennedy's before and stuff like that, and
so it's very, very cool.
Very cool, and the Ben Folds one as well, which is he's like a hero. So that's it's cool to be talking to you, man.
Oh no, very much appreciated, and also very much you went really far back into the archives. So I'd tip if I was wearing a hat. This is where I'd tip it to you.
Oh, man, no.
Well, no, as I mentioned before we were recording, I'm very appreciative of your time. I know that it's a busy time at the moment. There is a brand new single coming out from Dacy. It is the debut single, She Wants to Be Loved, and it is a beautiful track. So firstly, congratulations on this track, guys.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Thanks for listening.
That's very kind, man. I know you listen to a lot of tunes as well, so appreciate it, man.
No, of course. Look, I am a lover of all music, but I do love myself a good 3-minute pop rock kind of. It's not quite a ballad, but you know what I mean. What would you guys define as the sound of the single?
I think we probably say singer-songwriter because it is like real story kind of based song, but I think it's singer-songwriter, but it also is it is still like a pop kind of.
The lyrics almost feel like they could be a ballad, but it's actually like a bit of a faster tempo record without you almost realising it.
And we like grooves and stuff like that, so it's kind of a mix of a lot of stuff, which is like a lot of what's going on right now. Like a lot of things mixed in the pot, man. But yeah, I'd probably say maybe singer-songwriter, I guess, a little bit. Yeah.
I think that you've probably hit the nail on the head best there, and thank you for that. With the song out now, I know that you guys have kind of been working towards this single for a while now, and I want to get to that in a little bit, but how are you feeling at this point? Because it's a huge kind of moment for yourselves, and again, why I appreciate your time. This is a moment, not the podcast recording, but the single release. You'll remember this forever. So how are you feeling with it coming out?
This is our first podcast, man.
Yeah, it's our first podcast, so thank you.
First times are important, man, so I'm glad you're our first, man.
Well, look, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we've been working towards this for a little while, so been doing lots of gigs back. We're from Melbourne, so back in Melbourne we played a lot of pubs and clubs and stuff, so it's nice to finally have our own song kind of coming out, so It's very surreal but very exciting.
I can only imagine. I feel that this is an extremely magical moment for yourselves. Do you remember the catalyst or the songwriting for this single?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I guess we kind of grew up around music because of our dad and stuff like that. He was in bands, and he's got there's a studio at our house, so there was always like a lot of bands around and stuff like that. So that was always kind of around, but I guess really wanting to do songwriting and like writing our own songs and going and doing that was Ed Sheeran. So like I think I was probably in like year 6 when the A-Team came out, his first like big song, and it just became a massive, both of us just became huge fans. And then I'd heard that he'd met his hero Damien Rice when he was like 15 at a gig, and that's what set him off on his whole thing. And so I was just like, oh, I've got to meet this guy. We have to meet him. We've got to do that. And so I was on like the forums with all like the other girls and like fangirls, like crazy fangirls when he came to like Melbourne, and like when I was 15, so I was like 2014 or something, and figured out that he was doing like the project, that the TV show, the interview. And so I was like, oh, we got to go down and like we've got to meet him. We have to meet him. So me, Ruby, and we took Mum as well to go down and waited with like 8 other crazy fangirls outside the project, and waited there for a few hours, and he wasn't coming. And Mum was like, I don't think he's coming. I don't think he's coming, honey. I think he's probably, you can go out. I don't think he's coming. And I was just like, no, I know he's going to come. Like, I have to meet him. We have to meet him. And like an hour and a half later, he ends up coming out, and we said hello, and I'd like drawn him a picture as well. I used to like drawing and stuff like that. So it was big fangirl moment. But like, so I gave him a picture, and he took a photo with both of us and said hello, and like took the time, and he was just so nice, and signed our like record. And just after that, I don't know what it was, but after that we were like, that's what we want to do. Like,
we just want to follow his mantra of like, be nice, do lots of shows, write as many songs as you can.
And so yeah, after that we literally went home and wrote our first songs for us that night, and that's how it started, just because he was really nice and stopped and spoke to us for a minute. So that's basically where it started, man. And then that all led up to writing this song. Yeah.
I love that. I think it is always this kind of nice, what is it, mantra, or like the kind of like you pass on what's been passed on to you kind of, I know that there's a better way to phrase it, and I'm just having a bit of a mental blank, but I love that kind of inspired you guys to go home and write music. I know you mentioned that you did grow up in a musical family. I believe that I want to call him Peter. I don't know him well enough to call him Pete, but Peter, your father, did have quite a musical.
And he likes.
Did he? I guess yeah. What was that initial environment like when you guys were little, with so much music around, and with your dad being so heavily involved in the music scene?
I think it was as well like. When you're like little, you always like look up to what like mum and dad do. So our mum worked in an office, so we were always like, yeah, we're going to be working in an office, or like you just be a musician, and that's just like the 2 jobs you can do, right? So, so I think just because it was always around us, and Dad used to have bands and stuff in the studio, so especially if they had drum kits and stuff set up, we'd just like wait until everyone left and beg Dad to let us outside and.
And so it kind of crept in like that, I guess. And then, but actually wanted to do like after meeting Ed, we're like, okay, we want to do that. And so we looked up like, okay, he did open mic nights, we got to do that too, and we got to do pub gigs. And Dad was like, well, I used to play it. Like we used to play at this kind of pub, so you probably should start at this kind of, start at those kind of pubs and do it kind of the way that a lot of like, Aussie bands and like In Excess and stuff like that did the, the pub
circuit
and kind of told us about that, and that kind of way of doing it, and like earning your stripes kind of, and kind of playing as many places as you can, and working it up like that. So he's got a lot of experience like that, which is really nice to talk to him about like that. But yeah, he did kind of kind of tell us the stories of like, that's how these guys did it and stuff like that. And then when you see Ed going, okay, he did it like that too, so maybe we should maybe we should try and do it like that.
100%. I think there's the phrase you just used before of like earning your stripes. I think there's like really nice to be said about, and this is not to discredit anyone or any artist, band, whoever that might find like a single or a song that goes viral and they have the kind of instant fame. I think there is something to be said in 2022 about a band earning their stripes and, you know, like building your musical chops, like it is something that's very honourable. And I think, did either of you find what has been the results of that thus far? Like, you guys feel that you're in a much better position now because of having said earned stripes?
I think it just kind of is probably like yourself, man. Like, I mean, you're on your like 300th episode almost now and stuff like that. It just kind of like when things go wrong and stuff like that, you can, I guess, you know how to deal with it. So we've had gigs where the whole like 1, 2, 3 and all the gear just turns off, and it's like just doing stuff like that, playing
getting used to shit hitting the fan and being able to
hitting
deal
the
with
fan
it.
and people jumping up on stage. There's no barriers. Do you know what I mean? So like, someone jumps up on stage and takes the mic and starts singing, and you know, and just all that kind of stuff. I think just kind of,
and because we, especially at the start, we're doing a lot of covers as well. Just playing so many good songs night after night. I feel like that definitely helped with our songwriting because you're just playing all these hits for like a few hours every night. So
you kind of learn what playing a good song feels like. And so it's when it's our own one, you know, we'll chuck one of our own songs in between, like, you know, Coldplay and Oasis. And then how did that feel? If it like doesn't feel up to par, you go, okay, well that's shitter, so let's leave that to the side. Let's keep working on that one. Or when one does feel good, you go, okay, maybe that song's all right. But
this summer, Instacart presents famous summer flavors coming to your front door, or pool, or hotel.
Your grocery delivery has arrived, sir.
That was faster than room service.
No violins in the lobby.
Oh, seriously? Anyway, sit back, relax, and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Starring your favorite snacks, drinks, and more. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Rated H for hungry audiences. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
We all belong outside. We're drawn to nature. Whether it's the recorded sounds of the ocean we doze off to, or the succulents that adorn our homes. Nature makes all of our lives, well, better. Despite all this, we often go about our busy lives removed from it. But the outdoors is closer than we realize. With AllTrails, you can discover trails nearby and explore confidently. With offline maps and on-trail navigation, download the free app today and make the most of your summer with AllTrails.
But yeah, so I think just all that kind of stuff. But what about you, man? How did all this? I want to know how all that. Like, I've listened to a few episodes. I haven't heard how this podcast has come about. I feel like I'd be really interested to hear that. Yeah. I'm sure you're like everyone who listens would be really interested to hear how you built that up, man, and all that. I'd love to know that.
I won't go into the great detail of it, not to bore anyone. We are here to speak about yourselves. I'll definitely admit that there is something to be earning your stripes and learning how to wade through those difficult waters definitely helps. I've definitely had some clunkers out of a number of those episodes. But yeah, it is something that I can kind of appreciate with musicians, that there is something to be said about building up your what is it, like the memory muscle, the fact that you would have played so many gigs this year that you're now at a point where if something goes wrong, you know instantly what to do instead of kind of having the stunned mullet look and just standing there with a guitar in hand or whatever it may be.
Yeah, man. Even stuff like, I know we tried I used to do the clap your hands, and in the pub, everyone's got a beer in their hands, so that didn't work. Just stuff like that. You go, okay.
Oh, hopefully not. Yeah, you want to avoid any like glass shattering in the hand. So I can appreciate that. With this new single, She Wants to Be Loved, your dad actually had a hand in co-producing it, as well as Jack Joseph Pugh. How did I guess both of those come about? Because obviously it's incredible to say that your debut single on a major label also has your father involved. but then also to have Jack involved, which we'll touch on in a sec. But yeah, how did Dad get involved?
Well, because Dad runs his studio like in our backyard. The song probably started just as like a demo kind of idea. So we just started recording it over one summer. And Dad was like, oh, actually.
Dad will come in and listen to
have
stuff.
A listen and be like, change that.
That's not bad. That's all right.
And he was like, oh, this actually isn't bad. So, like, maybe we should build it up a little bit and actually start recording it properly. So it was quite an organic kind of thing. It wasn't like a sit down, like, let's do this or anything. So, yeah, that's how Dad.
That's kind of how Dad would do that. Kind of all got involved and stuff like that. Because we kind of grew up around, like, sometimes would help him in the studio, like, assist or something like that and stuff like that. So it's always in and out. And the house, it's not massive. So it's always like the backyard's only a couple of steps to the studio. So we're even like during summer when we were started this song, he's always walking in and out, as his mum and the dog and everyone. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, it was kind of like that.
Because I can imagine it's obviously very helpful to have someone who is extremely knowledgeable with the industry and with songwriting and everything else. Is he, I know you mentioned before, Ruby, that he'd come in and be like, oh, maybe change that or do this. Is he a tough critic or is he tough but fair?
Oh, that's a good question. I think he's tough but fair. Like, if Dad likes something, then we're like, okay, maybe we're like onto something.
Yeah, he won't.
He won't sugarcoat it.
He won't sugarcoat it, especially live.
Which is good, though. I feel like
it's good. It's good. I feel like it's nice to have that, though. But he's but like overall, he's so supportive and like he's
like a real music fan. Like he just loves music.
He just loves showing us songs and like little moments of songs. You go, that's what it's all about and stuff like that. So it's
something like
all
that
stuff.
It's like something special you can like share with like your dad as well. So like it's nice being in a band with your brother, but having Dad there as well, it's just like a very cool thing to be able to do.
Of course, I can only imagine. Does not to disinclude Mum, is Mum musical in any sense, or is it something that unfortunately she sits out?
She sings to get us out of bed in the morning. That's what.
She's got other talents.
She's good at other stuff. She's awesome.
She drops us and picks us up
at a lot of gigs.
Most of our gigs. So we call her name's Jules. Uber Jules, so she does all the Ubering. So, yeah, she's a queen.
Look, that was very diplomatic of you saying that she has other talents. So, Jules, give a quick shout out to Jules as well on the pod, because we have mentioned the other family. I would love to discuss, I guess, touring on the road. I feel like even in this last month, in the month of November, you've had so many tour dates, but I know you've also been on the road a lot with Pete Murray this year. Firstly, because it's definitely one thing, like playing in pubs around Victoria, some brilliant pubs in Melbourne. But how did you find the transition to doing like proper full-scale touring?
You know what? I think it's kind of the thing that's really cool with this one as well is like we haven't done a lot of traveling, so we haven't been to that many places around Australia. So that just by itself was so cool to be able to be like, we're in Gladstone today and I've never been here, and just meeting people and stuff like that was really, really cool. I'm not a great flyer though, so that was getting used to that as well was
the toughest thing.
The big hurdle for me. Those like those little link planes that are like the small 2-aisle ones. Mm-hmm. That was a building moment. That was interesting, but everything else has been really cool.
Biggest PAs and bigger stages and like some of the pub gigs we do back in Melbourne, like we were doing our own sound for, so we'd like set up, I'd have to like run upstairs, change the music, run back down to start playing on stage. So even just like having these big PAs and people doing sound and lights for you is like
and
so
people,
cool, and we really appreciate.
And they can't leave. They have to listen. I mean, they can go to the bar, but I mean, like they're already there. So it's like a lot of the pub gigs, you got to really work to be like
keep people in the room.
Whereas it's really cool to be playing. They're all kind of
Yeah,
and, you know,
Pete's got some awesome fans as
Really
well. They really love music, so it was nice getting to play all original songs for people who really love music and singer-songwriter music. So,
shout out Pete.
amazing.
He was really cool to us and was really, really generous, and he got us on stage to sing with him on the last show. So, and all his band and stuff. So that was amazing.
That's very, very cool. He, from all accounts, he does seem like a very lovely gentleman, Pete. With, I guess, you playing these original songs now, again, previously in the pub playing these covers to originals, did the crowd, like, were they good in terms of, like, feedback and letting you know what worked, what didn't work? Maybe not even necessarily in a vocal sense in terms of telling you directly what worked, what didn't work, but, like, were you able to gauge, what was a success?
Yeah, I think so. It was just really, you know, it's just like certain, just even because we'd start at the start of the tour, we go, this is the set list we're going to do, and we're going to play these songs, and then over the shows you go, okay, that one was the bathroom break song where everyone goes down, so it's like, let's change that one, put this in, and there's some songs where there's one we play. And, you know, when people were singing it by the last chorus and stuff like that, which was really cool to like see and just go, okay, maybe that one's got something going on. And it's great to be able to road test songs in front of like 600 people, 800 people. So that was really cool to do that, man. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm very glad to hear, one, that the songs were received well, but also that there is, I guess, more original music to discuss at some point. I obviously don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't want to get in trouble with any certain publicists that might be in the room or not. Can we expect, now that we're at the end of the year, we're going into 2023, can we expect more music from yourselves next year?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
man.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Lots of songs coming, man. So
we're always writing, so.
And you'll be first to know, man. We'll have to send you, if we're allowed to, we'll have to send you a couple of
for your demo.
A few new songs, man.
Please, I would love that, but there is no pressure. Obviously, I don't want to get yourselves or myself or anyone in trouble, so that would be incredible. We know that obviously there is new music coming from you. Can we expect to also, I guess, see you back on the road next year as well?
100%, man. That's the plan for next year is songs and gigs. So that's going to be our 2023. I think so, man. So that's, yeah.
I love that. That sounds like a pretty good 2023 in my opinion.
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, we're very excited, man.
Now, usually at Jack and Ruby, we would ask our guests what they're currently listening to. Is there anything at the moment that is on high rotation for both of you respectively?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we like because Dad's got a lot of CDs. We love CDs in the car. I don't know, because it's just you listen to it from the start to the end, kind of. I can see you got vinyl on the back as well, so that's
cool.
Our dad would love that. I love that. That's awesome, man.
There's something to be said about playing something from start to finish, but sorry, I interrupted, please.
Oh, mate, no. Oh, good. So we've been listening to, right now, like the last week, just looping Court and Spark, Joni Mitchell.
Beautiful. And
just her lyrics and stuff like that are like, how the hell do you come up with something like that? It's just bullshit, some of those songs. And there's a song, Car on the Hill, I think it's probably our favourite from that record. So that's probably what we've been really...
That and Tom Petty.
And Tom Petty, yeah.
We've been listening to a lot recently.
American Girl's one of our pump-up songs for
pre-gig, we always play American Girl.
Great song. Do both of you have, I guess when it comes to music taste, is there a lot of crossover in what you both like? Is there some stuff that one likes that doesn't? I guess where does it, the crossover fit?
Ooh. I really loved, like, especially in like high school and stuff, I loved hip hop and R&B.
And I was never like I liked R&B, but not like as much as Jack, but.
And so I've kind of got over to the
now I love R&B.
hip hop R&B. So now we'll put on some like Drake as well in the mix and some Jagged Edge and all that stuff before a gig too. So, what about you, man? What have you been digging recently?
Recently, that's a good question. You've kind of caught me by surprise there.
Sorry.
Only because no, all good. It's usually only because people don't ask. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do what other guests do, and I'm going to look at my phone very quickly. What happened? Been listening to two things. The new record from These New South Wales. They're a punk band from Melbourne, and they're really good. And then the other one was Ethel Cain, who is more singer-songwriter. Actually, maybe something worth checking out for yourselves. I think someone called her like the Americana Phoebe Bridgers, so kind of like a folky singer-songwriter.
Oh, what was that again? Sorry, I'm gonna make sure I remember that.
Ethel Cain and the Preacher's Daughter.
Gotcha, 100%. We're flying home tonight, so I'll make sure I love asking people what they're listening to, because I'm like, I'll download it and listen to it on the plane.
Look,
yeah, man.
Once we wrap it up, I'll send it to you on Insta or something. We'll find some way to get it to you. But both Jack and Ruby, I do appreciate both of your time today. Thank you very much for coming onto the pod, and congrats on the new single.
Thank you so much, Simon.
Thanks for having us on, man, especially when it's our first song. So, and this is our first podcast, so that means a lot, man.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And that's our show. A massive thank you to Dacy for their time. She Wants to Be Loved is out now, and we've left links in the show notes if you'd like to stream the single. We also want to give a huge shout out to Mariam at EMI Music Australia for helping out with today's interview. If you like this show, please subscribe wherever you get your pods and stay up to date when new episodes are released. Release new shows each Wednesday and Friday morning, and we now have a Patreon, which you can find within the show notes of this episode. You can follow the Players profile on Spotify, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next week, cheers.
Hello, this is Danny Pellegrino, host of the Everything Iconic podcast, and I'm here to tell you all about Splash Refresher, because hydration is mandatory, but boring is not. Now, I love my water, but if I don't spice it up, I'm not going to finish what I took out of the fridge. That's why I love my Splash Refresher, which is flavorful, delicious, bright, hydrating, and 0 calories. The wild berry flavor is my fave. No, wait, is the pineapple mango flavor my fave? You know what? All 5 craveable Splash Refresher flavors are my fave because they're so delicious. So get hydrated and enjoy it with Splash Refresher.